Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to draft this elegant Basque dress with a ruched skirt. If this is what you love to learn, please stay tuned. Let's get right into the video. So I went ahead to draft the normal basic body, the neckline which is 2.5 over 3. Then the basic body or normal basic body, the dress length up to, let me leave the chest line. We have the chest line, the um, half length, the hip line, we have the knee length, we have the linear that's above knee, then you have the dress length also, the dress length. So this is our busybody. I drafted the two busybody, both the front and the back, on one pattern paper. So what we'll do now is to design. This is the chest line for the back, the half length, the hip line, yeah, yes, the hip line. Sorry, I forgot to I write on the other side. The hip line. We have the knee length. Make sure it's above the knee length and the dress length. So now let's design the top part. But first, let me outline. Before designing, let me outline the dress. So just outline it like this. Like so, the shoulder, the neckline, which is 2.5 over 3, the armhole side, then aligning it. So after we got to, what we did was to measure our bust line, our bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, which is the mark I have. Waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch allowance. We have the hip also divided by 4 plus 1 inch allowance. Then we have the knee length. The knee length, what we have on the hip minus 1 inch. What's the 1 inch? That's the length you have on your hip. You remove 1 inch, you have place it there. What you have on the knee length, take it down to the dress length, which is like so. Now after doing this, we come to the the shoulder line. The shoulder line, I want to create the top as a sleeveless dress. So what I did was to go from the shoulder line. I did 3 inches. I measured like so, 3 inches, 3 inches. Like you can design anyhow you want it. You can leave the shoulder like that, then create back to the armhole. You can decide to leave the shoulder like that or take in as much as you want, but I'm doing 3 inch on this pattern. So I did then connect back to the armhole. We have our new armhole now. Let me outline it so you see it. This is our new armhole line. That's our shoulder. I'll mark as our new line. So after doing this now, we now come back to the the hip side, which we want to create that basque area. So what we do, I did on my I measure from my shoulder down to 20 inches. As from the waistline, you go down by 3 inches from the waistline. Go down by 3 inches because you don't want the backs to start from exactly your waist. So go down by 3 inches, then you connect to from the knee line. Also, you go up by 3 inches. For the bars, you go up by 3 inches, just like so. Then you connect with a curve, not too curvy, just the way I'm doing it, like this, back to the 3 inches we took up from the knee line, just like this. If you like, you can go in by half an inch, but mine, I'm just doing quarter of an inch because I want it not too wide on the down part. Then I'll outline it to give the shape. Then let me just outline it so you see it. Then you create the line like so, down to that quarter of an inch I did, just like so. Create a V line, just a normal sharp line there. Then after you finish doing this, you do the same thing you did on the front side on the back, but this back side is up to you. You can decide to make it backs, or let me just outline first. So let's outline this. I outlined the back side. I took it down on the shoulder line, back is 1.5/3, and outline all the sides also. So after this, I just did the normal 1" allowance which we did on the front side also. The 1" allowance I just outlined so you see it. Then the down part also we did a 1" allowance. So on the back side you can decide to make it basque just the way you did the front. It's up to you how you want it. You either do the front the same way and do the back the same way you did the front, or you create another design. But what I'm doing on this is I went down the same 20 inches I did on the front, same 20 inches I went down like so, but I don't want the backs to be as the same thing as the front. So what I did was just to create this curve, not too curvy line to the waist. After the waist side, it's just going down like so. Then I just created a curve area, then outline it down like this. Just make it sharp, like just how you want it, create it how you want it. Then after which you cut it out like this, just that line connecting the front and the back. You have the ruching on the gathers on the back side. The line I created, just this line I created like this down, that is where you have the gathers. Then the other part will be just the normal back. Then after this, you now create your, you make sure you join the two lines together. Meanwhile, you first of all do your um you do your zipper board. You just go in, you can do 1/2 inch, 3/4, but I'm doing 1" because I think I'm using a stretchy fabric on this. But this, even if it's stretchy, I can still remove as much as I want. But if you don't have a stretch, I'm not sure, if you don't have a stretchy fabric, you can do allowance 1 inch. But if you have a stretchy bag, no need to add allowance. I'm adding allowance to this because I might use a stretchy fabric and I might not. That is why I'm doing this. If I'm using the stretchy fabric, I'll remove the allowance I kept for the bodies. So you remove the zipper bodge side. Then what you do now is to cut it out like so, down to the, from the back there down, just like this. Make sure the lines are meeting, are equal with the back line, so you have it equal when placing the gathers to each other. So now you have to mark the back area just like this. You have the slash on this other side. Then what you do now is to cut out, but before you cut out, make sure you notch this. I'm cutting out now, but I have to notch this sharp area. You know, you notch this area so you know when you're placing in your gathers, that will be the back side which your gathers will stop. I don't know if you're getting this. Your gathers will stop on that back area. So let's cut out like so. Cut out. Cutting it out through the line also. I don't want to cut it separately, so I'm just trying to do it like this. You just cut out like so. But meanwhile, you remove the zipper bodge area to cut out the zipper bodge area which you did your, it's up to you how you want it, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, or 1 inch. You just cut it out like so, just to give a fitting on the back side, so your zip will lap on your back. So you just cut like so, you don't have any folding when you do this. So you cut like so. Make sure you label it as the back, then this other side as the front side, so you always know the other part to label it, so in case you're folding the gathers in, you know the front side and the back side. Only remember to write your center front and your center back. So after which you just cut out, and I'm done cutting out. I have the front and the back pattern just like this. Make sure what you did on the front, please do it also on the back line. Go in by your 3 inches and connect back to the armhole. Then you do this, you keep it aside. Let's work on the splash and spread areas. that's the down part. So what you do now is to align the lines. Make sure the lines are meeting the knee line, the hip line. Make sure they are meeting each other, then you join. After joining like this, you tape it down. Then after taping, you're having it like so. What you do now is to mark out the line for your splash and spread. So you mark out the lines like this. You can measure, but it's up to you. Depends on the distance. You can just cut like that and spread out. But what I'm doing now, I didn't take any fixed measurements. I just went straight down to the point here, the point which the box is stopping. Then I just make the lines. I just wrote the line all through like this. Then you mark like so on the other side also, just like the way I'm doing it. You can decide to stop your gathers on the back side. You can decide to stop on the butt area, but what I did, I you can decide to stop, or you take it down to the knee length, but I'm stopping at the butt area, which I will later change to, I changed to the knee length area, but not too much opening. I just I placed the paper on that, and I continued. I just marked the line down to the knee side of the back, but the spread is not, I won't make it too open on the back side. Only the front will have the the wide opening, but the back is a little open, that the splash is not too much on the back side. So I went ahead to place paper on that, and I cut out from this side which you are having the Basque line. So I just opened, cut out like so, cut out the lines, through the lines I'm having. I cut out on the other side, just like this, just like so. So yes, you just try and open it, then you cut out also like this. So after you're done opening and cutting out, what you do now is to spread. You can place this on fabric to do all this I did on the pattern paper. I'm just showing this for illustration. So what you do now is to spread open. It's up to you how wide you want it. You can even decide to open the back side, like cut out the back side to make, but on this one I'm not splashing open. I'm just closing, as in I'm just cutting through to the point. I don't want to open the back to make it very wide on the back. I just want little splash, like little gathers on the back. So after which you just open it how wide you want, then connect the lines back to the basque point. Remember, when you do back to the back point, the other side of the pattern, that's the knee length down, is unfold. While this other side, you have a cut on that place. Remember to add your 0.5 after you're done doing this. So you just tape down this part, because this is the area where your splash and spread is stopping. Then you do the same on the other back side also. You can also take the back side, so just to hold the paper to the new paper you placed under. So after doing this, yes, just hold it down. So after you've done doing this, what you do next is to mark the points. Remove this splash first. You add, remember, you are adding 1 inch on the zipper part of the back. But meanwhile, if you don't add, there's no issue. You can add on the back side 1 inch allowance for zipper allowance, but the down part, on the knee part down, you don't need it, because we remember we already added 1 inch on the dress, so we closed it on the center, the side, so we have excess to join the back. So you cut out like so, add your half an inch allowance, which you use to join the basque on the top. So you cut out like this, then notch this side. Remember to notch the side which you're having the back line, like where the basque point is stopping. Notch there, because when you get there, that is where you stop. You're not doing your gathers more than that point. So you do the same thing on the side, the back and center back. You cut out like this, and shift, so you see it like so. You cut it out like this, cut out. So when you're done, you cut this other side, the upper side, but make sure you mark the notch this other point too, where the front gathers will also start from. Then you cut the other one to the center back, just like this. So after which, what you do now is to gather it. You do your gathers. You see the way I'm doing the gather. Remove this upper part because you don't need it again. You've already spread your patterns. So I can't really get the gathers here because it's a pattern paper, but if you're doing it on fabric, you will be able to get the gathers well on fabric. So bring back your pattern like so, you place it like so, then the excess like this you have, and you have to gather it back. Just make gathers, because on the picture we don't have much gathers, too much full gathers, but if you want to, you can make your gathers full. It's up to you how full you want it. So you just gather it like this, take it back to the normal length you're having as the Basque line. Yes, you just take your gathers back to the back line like so. If you're doing it on fabric, it will come out really easy because this is a pattern paper. I can't really do the gathers on the pattern paper. So on this other side also, you do place it like so. Join the point is on the waistline, then gather the back side too. Meanwhile, before doing this, make sure you sew your upper part open before doing the gathers, and don't forget you're cutting the down part times 2. The knee length down is unfold, while the upper part, which is having the gathers, is slash open. So you just do your gathers like this. I don't know, with time on fabric it will come out really well, but this is a pattern paper. It can't show the gathers, but I think this will give you an idea on how it will look like when you're done doing the gathers, or you complete. It's up to you how you want it. So I don't know if you find this helpful. Please subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and watch our videos whenever we upload. Thank you so much for watching this, and we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much. See you on my next video.